But yeah, I know Justin, with you guys, he kind of goes over at the beginning of the week. He goes over like what he's looking at, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He goes over his trades. He trades a little bit different to me. He uses quarters, doesn't he? But
yeah, he does the
he does
wholes
the
and the halves,
that's it. He takes off of the minors, doesn't he?
and then he's got the is it the HPA high pitchforks where it's the 62 EMA and the 90, which
Yeah, that's it.
I've
Yeah,
been
that's
using
the
that. I find it quite decent for me.
yeah, mate. The 62 and the 930. So back in the day when we were doing those, yeah, were really good. So it's
I've
good.
actually added the 200 to it as well, and I find that
Yeah,
helps me. I've been using the 62 and the 200.
yeah. The 200, mate. I pretty much use on everything. Even when I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
phone, I just add the 200 EMA because if you find, especially on the higher time frames where price is like struggling to kind of finish above or below on it, and like
yeah,
and with the body of the candle, not so much the wick, but if you're finding that it's doing that, it gives a really nice indication for a potential reversal. So I find it 200 on the 5 minute is also really good if you incorporate it with like order blocks or the fair value gap stuff and all of that. So
yeah,
so yeah, this is what Justin does, right?
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So he uses these levels here, the major and well, they're both major levels really, the 50 and the 100 levels. Um, I'll take this off because he doesn't use that. I'm just trying to make it relevant as possible. I know that sorry, let me just check Facebook because I did put it in here. But I don't think any of those are going to jump on. Um,
Mate, while you're just doing that question,
yeah.
right, I can't get my head around it, Sean. Right,
Okay,
so
mate.
you know when you risk, say you're risking your 1%, yeah?
Yeah.
So that 1% is that 1% on the size of your account.
Yeah.
But
So
then go on,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, go on, mate. It's all right, you finish and then I'll
But
do the rest
what
of
I
mine.
can't get my head around is you're risking 1%, but then you can drag your stop loss to whatever you want. So
Yeah.
how does that 1% come in? I can't get my head around it.
Okay. Right. So your percentage is based pretty much on the risk of the lot size in comparison to how many lots you've got um on the trade. So
Right.
generally, like on average, most of my trades are probably around the 10 pip stop loss. So
Yeah.
I know that like off the top of my head that like around between a 9 and 11 lot size will roughly be about $1,000 depending on the currency
Right.
because it does change a little bit with the currency pairs, right? So then knowing that, I then base that on everything else that I do. So I know that roughly 10 pips on EU is $1,000. So
Yeah.
then I know that if I've got a 50k account, so bearing in mind that's based on a 100k account, I know that on a 50k account, if I want to risk 1%, I have to then use 5 lots because you've got half the size account. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. So you lot. So because I use the PCS, the position. So
I've never used that. Yeah,
your lot size. That's
yeah.
so. Say it's like 0.68. That's 1%. That's 1%. Yeah. Is that right?
It depends on how much so it depends on how many um, lots you've kind of got in and the stop loss size. So
Right.
those are comparable. So what you've got, if I do like a scenario here, okay, I'm just trying to think the best way to do this. All right, so if I let me go on to CAD JPY. Right, say for instance now, right, that's created pretty much equal highs there. So there's a little bit of liquidity there. So you got the EMA there, so it could nip up there or it could come down here. It's come into this 1 hour order block here. So there's potential for it to take that first before reversing. So just just as an idea, you've got your stop loss there.
Yeah.
Stop loss goes under here. So we know that 78, if I make this wider so it's easier to see, and I'll put lines on so it marks it up better. You've got 78.2. So that means that you're at the 78 number between that 100 level. So that's the
Yeah,
50, that's the 100. We're at 78. And we know that the entry here is 92. If I move that, yeah, so that's perfect because then that is 14, right? That's right, isn't it? 14. So you've
yeah,
got
yeah,
14 pip stop loss there. Okay, so the best way to do it is, and this is the good thing, this is what I like about C Trader, is if you download C Trader on your phone
yeah,
and you put in like a pending, what you could do is you put in like how many lots your stop loss is, and it will tell you the risk in comparison to the lot size that you're putting on. So just to make it a little bit easier, just to kind of what we'll do is we'll make that 10. So we'll put that down to 88.2. So roughly, if I could, 88.1. So we'll just say, actually, is that right? Yeah. We'll just say that. So just say that's 10 pips there, right? So we know that if you're risking 1% there for every bit that goes up. So at the moment, obviously, that's 5.86% that you'll make on that move there, right? So
yeah,
what you want to do is you want to work out the lot size for 1%, right? So it depends on your account size in relation to how much you put on. Does that make
yeah,
sense? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So on Euro USD, for instance, on a 100K account for 10 lots, you'd put you'd for a 10 pip stop loss, you would put on 10, it would be 10 lots that would risk $1,000.
so what you're saying then, so one pip will be one lot, is that right?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Because on the position size calculator, it works out, and this is what I can't get my on the position size calculator, it works out your lot size already. So
Yeah,
it does it all for you. But then when I put the trade on, if I wanted to, I could move the stop loss. So is that then me making my percentage bigger?
different. Yeah,
Right.
it depends.
Okay.
It
Right.
depends,
I get it
right?
now.
So if now, right, say for instance that's 10. So say for instance, price, right? Just to give you like a scenario, you're here,
Excuse
you're here
me.
at the moment. So price is at this level here. Say price pulls back into here,
Yeah.
goes up, it then say mitigates here around this area, and now we've created a new high. So we're kind of like, okay, we're pretty safe here. This has been covered here. So what you could then do is then move your stop loss to like here or reduce your stop loss to half. So you're now risking 5 pips rather than the 10 pips. And what you've technically done is you've kind of halved your risk as well. So
Yeah.
now you're risking $500 rather than $1,000.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That
but
does.
it goes the other way as well. Like if you've got bad mindset and like you're not following a trading plan, and then you decide, oh, actually, I think it might come down. You've already risked your 10 pips, so you're in the live trade. But then, and I've done it before. I've kind of, especially when I was new, I used to move
Yeah.
my stop loss all the time, hoping it would reverse, and 9 times out of 10, it would shoot me in the arse, and I'd end up losing more money. But say, for instance, you then decided to go another 10 pips, you're now risking 2 grand rather than
Yeah.
1 grand. So you're risking 2% of that 100K rather than 1%.
Right. Okay. So with my PCS, I've got it set at a 15 pip stop loss. So then my lot size that works out, that's the 15 pips. Would that be
Yeah, so
right?
well,
Right. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure how it would work, how
Yeah.
I've never used it, but if you've set it to risk 1% at 15 pips,
Then my lot size is that
then
15.
then your lot size is those 15
Right.
that's 15
Right. I
pips
get you. And then
and that's your
if
1%. So then if you then decided to move your stop loss to 30 pips, you're now risking 2%. Or if you
yes,
if
and
you decide to go to like
it'll be
seven and
my
a
lot
half,
size times two. Right. I get ya.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Cool.
yeah, does that make
Cheers,
sense?
mate. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It is.
Much.
It's kind of one of those things. It's like it took me compounding was like something that I really struggled with. I couldn't when I didn't even know about compounding before I got into trading. Well, I hadn't
Yeah.
even really heard the word, and then I was getting help from like a guy when I first started, and he said, "Oh, have you looked at like the compounding calculator and stuff?" And I'm like, "No, what's that?" And then I looked at that, and it just kind of blew my mind how that worked. And I was like, it took me a while just to get my head around that, but
Yeah.
once you kind of get stuff, it does become quite simplistic. I when I learnt about lot sizes and stuff like that, it was literally I kind of started on C Trader. I liked how it looked. And MT5 I don't think was around at the time. It was only MT4. Everyone was using MT4. And literally on MT5, you could one sec, I'll move this down here. Let me try and find something I was looking at the other day. One sec. Let's go back onto that. 2 seconds. This is funny, right? So this was back in uh, where is it? Plans font trading. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. It's so this is back in the day when I was learning. And I'll kind of show you. Like it makes me cringe now watching it because it was like all my old stuff before like TFT kind of like really blew up. But yeah, it's funny looking at it. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can find it. Might even be 1 second. Sorry guys, 2 seconds. Still profiles. I think it's this one. Let me just, yeah, it is, yeah. Right, this is this is like a really old. This is like where I started, right? Before like TFT was like first, like this is 2021. This is when the group was like really small. But you can see here, this is going back to the what's it called days where we were using HFX. But you'll see if I show you my photos, if I go back, you should see photos of me using CTrader. I'm sure there's
You love a selfie, didn't you?
these are just videos that I've done, mate. Yeah, these are I might, yeah, there we go. So this was me back in, when was that? Yeah, 16th of June 2020 using CTrader. It was funny because within IM you couldn't show amounts, you weren't, because it was no
Yeah.
like enticement, so you weren't allowed to show it. Um, but uh, but yeah, this is like when I'd only been trading for, well, I started in January, so this was literally month 5, 6, yeah, month 6. I've been trading like 5 months. Still really looking back at it now, had no fucking idea really. But I was just, yeah, just trying to pick things up, and yeah, and that's when Justin joined, and some of the others you can see, because we used to
Yeah.
do welcome posts back then. Um, but yeah, I
A long
started with
way,
C
mate.
Trade, and what's that, mate?
You've come a long way now. Look, you're teaching people.
Yeah, it kind of, yeah, it's come together, mate. It wasn't expected. Like I never thought that it would be what it is to this day. That was never really the plan. I just wanted to kind of learn, and then just because of lockdown, it was just a case of there was fucking thousands of tradesmen all in the same position. So
Yeah.
it was literally, yeah, it was just, I don't think if lockdown had happened, then I would have just probably carried on by myself. Maybe had a couple of close mates get involved and we all learn together, but not to what it is today.
Yeah. You'd have
So
probably still been on the tools as well, because as
yeah,
humans, we're scared to take the leap,
make
haven't
the big
we?
moves. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I saw
But like,
something. Go on.
no, no, go on, mate. What you gonna say?
I saw something the other day, and it was a guy speaking, and he was saying about how we shouldn't care about people's opinions because in 120 years, nobody will remember us. Like,
Well, that's true.
and he was on about, can you remember? Do you know your great grandparents' names?
Mhm.
Because when I thought I don't know my great grandparents' names, and that's
No, no,
not that far away. And I thought
no.
it made me think like, why wait? Just fucking do it.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
one's going to remember you or anything about us in 120 years anyway, is it? So
yeah,
we're stupid
100%.
not to.
Yeah, 100%. Like as security for me, even when I went, so I went. I went part-time around like June, July, August time in 21. Was it 21 or 22? It was when my daughter was born in October, and I said to the wife, I think I'm just gonna pack it in and just focus on trading and focus on TFT and stuff. And she's like, okay. So, but what I ended up doing was I ended up keeping my van for about 9 months. I think I kept it for. I didn't sell it until like the following summer, and she was born in the October because I had that security there mentally
As a
that
backup, yeah.
yeah, literally, it was just a backup. I was thinking if I fuck it somehow, or I don't know, you don't know what's going to happen. I could just go back on the tools and maybe go part time, or if possible, or just get back on it and kind of I'm no worse off really. I
Yeah,
started there. Do you know what I mean? So it was one of those, and then yeah, the following summer, I was just like, yeah, you know what? The van was literally so Ali Fisher borrowed my van for he must have had it for about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. He'd been in the group a little while at this point. I'd never met him, but I was randomly talking to him on the phone, and he was like, oh, he's like, my fucking van's just buggered, and he's like, I'm fucked really. And I'm like, well, mate, I've got a van at the top of the road that I'm not using. I was like, you're more than welcome to use it. So he drove up to mine and picked it up, and he ended up having it for like 4 or 5 months until he got his own sorted. So it was kind of getting used,
yeah,
but yeah, yeah, I got rid of it in the end. Just yeah, and just didn't look back. But this is the thing with like the trial guys and that it's like we're offering free stuff to them at the moment, and they just don't want it. And it's just like, well,
yeah. It's that fear factor, isn't it?
yeah, there's the skepticism side, but then
Yeah,
there's I think there's I
skepticism.
think I think there's a lot of also people think they're not smart enough. I think that's probably the main issue. Like I don't I think there's very few people now that are skeptical of TFT just simply because of how long we've been around. Like if
Yeah,
anyone knows anything kind of about what we do, all they need to do is just go do a little research on the internet, and they'll be like, oh, they've been around a while, they've got X amount in the group and whatever. I don't think it's really so much the skeptical side, is their confidence that they're not smart enough to do it, which I think is holding most people back. Um, so it's one of those.
yeah,
But yeah, everyone's different, mate. Everyone picks things up at different paces, and I suppose from my perspective, all I can do is just be there if they need help. That's like at the end of the day,
yeah,
it's their money and it's their journey. So. Uh,
exactly.
but no, it's good that you're doing well, mate. Yeah, hopefully you
Yeah,
smash
it's took a
that.
little while, but I'm getting there now. But it's like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah, it just takes
it's
time, mate. Just takes a
if
bit of
I
time.
can do it, anyone can do it, man. And I've heard a lot of people say that in this group.
I fucking that's all I say. If I can,
You
mate,
still say it now.
yeah, I do, man. And mate, I'm awful with computers. Like Excel and stuff just blows my mind. I don't go near.
Yeah,
Like I'm shit with computers. And yeah, it's just one of those that to me, if you want to learn it bad enough, then you'll stop making excuses and you'll just fucking knuckle down and you'll just get on with it. Um, so at some point I'll teach the girls about it. The wife's a little bit, she doesn't really want me to because she kind of like she wants them to kind of work hard and go to uni and
yeah,
appreciate money, and with obviously the potential of what you can earn in trading, it kind of like should, if they did get good at it. And to be fair, women are likely to be better traders than men just simply because the emotional side of stuff. If
yeah,
if they've got friends and they've made, I don't know, a grand in an hour, and then their friend has to work a month part time to earn that, I don't we don't want them then thinking they're better than their friends, if that makes sense. So it's
yeah, yeah.
one of
That makes
those it's
sense.
one of those really difficult things because they don't fully understand money now. Like they don't understand really what I do and what's involved. I explain the basics to them of how the banks control stuff and that, but I don't. Yeah, the wife, she's like, don't get them involved just yet. Let them appreciate like how to make money. Let them have a job first and kind of do it that way rather than
Yeah,
them be
appreciate the
not
value.
spoiled, because I'd like to think that we wouldn't raise them to be spoiled, but um yeah, I think there's like a fine line really where you can just give them too much too easily and then they don't actually, like for me, I didn't have the best upbringing and I fucking
Yeah,
struggled. So I know, like being in a better position, I appreciate everything I've got. Whereas
yeah.
like, if they've had it easy from the offset, there's nothing to appreciate, is there? So
No. It's good that it's good. Gordon Ramsay. You think he's worth 400 million? Him and his missus fly first class, and his kids are back in economy and that. And he's like,
Yeah,
"I'm rich, you're not."
yeah,
And
yeah. So there's,
that's a
you
good
know,
mentality to have.
no,
Like,
it is it like you know that the Dragon's Den guy, the Peter guy, the really tall guy.
yeah, yeah,
So what he does with his kids is he literally whatever job they have, he triples their wages. So
yeah.
the more money they make in their jobs, the more money they get from him. So
Not fair, man. That's a good
it
area.
gives yeah, it's like double or triple whatever they make. So if they're
Yeah,
on like 30 grand a year, he's giving them another 60 to 90 grand or whatever.
yeah,
To obviously live, and then that gives them the incentive then to still have drive to kind of want to better themselves.
yeah,
Um so yeah, it's quite smart. But
yeah.
they'll all probably end up being left with the money anyway
Oh, yeah. Of course
when
they
that.
will.
But but no, cool. Is there anything? So when you guys do Justin's lives, is there anything? Is there anything you guys want to go over or look at? It's NFP tomorrow, so we kind of need to be a little bit careful with tomorrow, especially with it running up to like 1 o'clock. But is there anything? Do you guys do you show him your setups? Do you look? Do you want him to answer questions on stuff? Like what do you guys do?
He normally, if we got any questions, we ask him, and then he'll just go through what he's looking at throughout the week and that, and what set up, what he thinks it's going to pan out in the week. That's what he normally does. Like shows us how
Yeah.
he thinks it's going to go.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, okay? So I won't do that so much today, just simply because it's Thursday, and
Yeah,
obviously we've got NFP tomorrow. So trading wise, you're gonna have to yeah, just be a little bit careful. So I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, I usually to look at when. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to get rid of the van, mate. Yeah, when you joined, I ended up doing a raffle for it and got rid of it. A guy from TFT won it, and he ended up driving up from Cornwall, and I met him at the train station and picked him up. Um, okay, usually look at point of interests and markup. Do you guys do you guys follow any of the stuff that Reb does on like the markouts that he does pretty much most days? So just before like London session kicks in, he'll do
Daily
like
markup, yeah.
yeah. Do you guys follow that at all?
I try to have a look at most mornings from.
Okay, I was going to say because I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and he's like I don't because it obviously from our back end on the YouTube side we can see like views and stuff on like how many people see it.
Not many by the looks of it.
No, there's not many at all. So like it's he kind of come to me. He's like, mate, it's mad that I'm hardly getting anyone watching. But bearing in mind they're free as well, so you don't
I
even
know.
need to.
And from his point of view, it must be soul destroying as well.
Yeah, well, he's just done his 200th one for TFT, but he said to me the other day, he's like, mate, I'm doing these markups and they're fucking playing out. He's like, if people actually watch them and then marked up kind of what I put, he was like, they would get some really good success. And I was like, oh right, okay. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, and to be fair, from our point of view, it's probably a promotion thing because we don't really promote it massively. All we do is just put the video in and that's it.
Mm.
We're awful at promoting. I think it's just we are. We're not like we're not marketers. It's just like yeah, it's one of those. Just most of us got tradesman backgrounds, and my marketing experience was when I was plumbing was putting a couple of photos on Facebook on my plumbing page, and then leaving a number and yeah, and that's how I pretty much run my business. I didn't have
Yeah,
Twitter,
hoping
I
for a
didn't have
call. Yeah,
Instagram. I didn't, and I was fortunate that that was enough. And then obviously word of mouth and stuff. But I just, but yeah, like my marketing expert. But then we've kind of paid for to have marketing done by like external companies for this, and they really struggle because it's such a niche. That they just struggle to, and also most tradesmen are just generally pretty like hardwired in the sense of they think everything's dodgy. So it's just kind of getting through to getting through to people is not always easiest, especially when there's loads of shit out there as well, which don't
yeah,
help.
exactly.
So
Sean,
yes, mate. Yeah, who's that
where can we find Rev's markup videos?
on YouTube, mate? They're straight on YouTube. Um,
He
two
Oh,
puts a
seconds.
link up every morning.
Yeah, literally
Well,
YouTube.
it's 3 days a week in it, I think.
Yeah, he does 3 days a week, mate. Yeah.
Because he covers the Dixie, GU, and EU,
Yeah, he
and
does,
how he
and
sees it for the day.
That's it. I don't even trades. Oh. Where is it? That's my. Oh God, fucking look at state of me in that. Jesus. Okay, that needs deleting. I don't even know why we're not coming up. Why are we not coming up? Oh, we're on the.
Put TFT.
I don't know. A TFT comes up with like a. Actually, I'll put tft.co.uk and just see what that does because there we go.
There's Web.
Yeah,
And if
so
you subscribe
yes,
to him, then you'll get the
yeah,
YouTube alerts as well.
yeah, that's it. And he does like he's 202 he's done. And this here is literally what he does most mornings and he just whacks them out. There's loads of them. So yeah, daily markout, and then he'll just can you guys hear that?
No.
No,
No.
no, you can't. Sorry, 2 seconds. It's in the settings.
Am I right? Does he put the link?
Welcome back to
Can you hear him talking?
Yeah, can you hear that?
video.
Can you hear him?
We're going to cover the usual DXY, Euro USD, and GBP USD pair.
Can you hear him talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
But firstly,
Yeah. So
let's jump
different
over
things. So then he'll just.
this high here, this liquidity high. If we do come up, take out that liquidity high, then we could possibly, depending on when that news comes out, see a sell off from there. So,
And he literally does this, yeah, like you said, mate, like 2-3 days a week, and
No, it's
like,
about 5 minutes of time. It's worth watching.
yeah, and it just gives you an idea of areas to look at. So you guys were saying that you kind of follow Justin and you get his analysis on points of interest. Well, Reb does this like 3 times a week, and he obviously he trades a little bit differently to Justin, but yeah, that's literally kind of what he does.
Does he put the link up as well in Discord?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he puts it in there, mate. Yeah, he puts it. He
Okay,
puts it.
I'll have a
He
look at
puts
that then.
it. Sorry, one sec. Literally, mate. Where here live session links, and he just whacks it in there where we all whack them, and you can and you can jump on, watch it.
But are they like pre-recorded as well? Obviously, and
No, he
pops
does them.
on
He does them live, mate. Yeah, he does them live about 7-8 o'clock in the morning, I think. Because to him, that's his night time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a lot earlier. I've seen the links at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he does it. He does it. Yeah, it varies, but yeah, because
Are they
he's
not recorded then?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're recorded into YouTube, mate. So they're
Oh
on there.
right, okay.
But then I don't know where he keeps them in here. I think they're on the website, so you could just go and watch them or YouTube because they're free. So
Yeah.
you just literally search for us on YouTube and they're there. So
But subscribe to the channel and you'll get a reminder then every time.
I was
Yeah,
in
that's not a bad shout actually.
let me see the free section. One sec. Trading questions, free live session link. Does he put them? He might put them in the free section. So let's have a look. Yeah,
they're in there, Sean.
there.
They're in there.
There you go. You can see them here. Yeah, 6 o'clock this morning, 5:30, 5:30, and they're like 5 minutes long, aren't they? So you can watch it, and then after you've watched it, you can literally go straight to charts and mark stuff up or have a look. Yeah, cheers, Matt. So yeah, in there. So yeah, they're worth watching. He says to me, he's like, it's fucking crazy how spot on I am sometimes, and he's like, mate, no one. He's like, I don't know what to do, and I was like, you can just carry on doing what you're doing, mate. I was like, that's all you can do. I was like, I remember watching a video the other week of some guy. He's like a podcaster or something like that. Only a young guy. He's like 19 years old, and it was like a Twitch stream or something. But there was like a numbers box on the bottom, and it was running up to like 5 million. So I think that was people that followed him, and
Shit.
it was running up, and you could see the numbers. And as he was talking, he was pretty much saying that a year ago, for a whole year, he done 3 videos a day for a whole year, and he only had like 10 people watching it for a whole year. and then suddenly it just went. So he was talking to like his community and going, do not ever give up on anything. You will never fail if you never give up and all of this. And he's like, you will all make it. Just do not give up. He's like, I could have given up at any time. I could have not done any video on any of those days. And he's like, I remain consistent and I stuck with it and I'm pushing it. And now a year or two on, I've now got 5 million followers on this account, and fuck knows how much he's making on it. Fuck knows, but yeah, he was obviously saying to people about it's not easy initially, and nothing is, but stick with it, and it'll pay off long term. So because we're time goes either way, right? We're getting old either way. So choose wisely how you spend that time. So it's not going to stop for us.
You know where, sorry, Sean, you know where you've got on the free zone, the free live sessions? I've not got that on my Discord. I don't know.
What on this, mate? The free
Yeah,
live
that's
link?
not on my one.
Yeah, so it's sometimes if you press down on that, does it show up?
No, I just get the general chat and the trading questions.
Oh, right, okay. Is that the same for everyone else? Text limited. I might maybe only be for me.
For the free Discord. I thought you might have uploaded them on somewhere else as well.
Yeah, with it. So these live session ones are just what we were going to do is like once or twice a week we were going to give any new people that are in the free zone, we were just going to give them like a live session a week. But we generally find that not many people use the free area. Like there's like 7,000 in the trial group, and they either don't.
Yeah, I haven't got that either.
Oh, have you not? Yeah, it might be just for us then, just for somewhere to put links in, and then maybe it shows when we put the link in. Maybe if it hasn't been used in a long time, it might disappear. But yeah, people are weird. They're either like, no, never going to join, but I'll stay in the trial group, or what they'll do is they'll join and yeah, just get on with it. So
I see your video the other day where you were mentioning the numbers. There's what was it? Did you say 1,000 in the main group?
yeah, so in the main
There's 7,000 just sitting on the fence in the trial group.
Yeah,
That's
1126.
some amount of people just sitting there.
I know, but it just I don't know, mate. It's weird, isn't it? Just one of those things that I like. One of the guys in the trial chat that I created, one guy, he commented on something, and I checked his profile, like I checked how long he'd been in the trial group, and he's been in like since the beginning of 2021. But he's never been in TFT, and it's just like I think some people are just generally nosy, and they just like to see what's going on, and they've never got any intention of kind of joining.
No, they're fear of committing to it.
Yeah, which is fine. Like I don't want to push people to do something. Obviously, they don't want to.
The thing is, even with all the incentives and the promotions and literally giving it away for £1 a time,
literally,
people have been bombarding the group.
I know, literally, we've kind of got the installer show coming up, so we're gonna have obviously competitions running for that, and then we will do like a deal for new members. And then we've got other things in the pipeline that I can't give too much away about, but there's
Go on, John.
No, I can't. I'll get moaned at, mate. I would have years ago when it was mainly me, but now with the leaders, they fucking.
I'll tell you what. Delete this session afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, and then you guys will mention, but I don't know what we're fucking talking about. I don't say anything like that. But no, we're looking at doing something where you guys can make money while obviously learning, because I think that's also a big factor as well within doing this is you got to be realistic. Most people aren't willing to put in the time to learn this, and they're looking for a quick, easy buck. And trading is not a quick, easy buck. So what we're looking at is a way of bringing value to you guys quicker, so you can make a bit of money on the side while learning still. Because obviously we are ultimately like this is your fishing, right? If it's all well and good us doing signals or whatever, but if I get run over tomorrow,
what's the point?
No more signals.
Yeah.
So it's
kind of fish yourself.
Yeah, if you learn to fish, then you've got the skill for life. And literally nothing has changed. Like you can mark up order blocks from the early 90s or 2000s and they're still relevant now. So like it hasn't changed in the last 20-30 years. Like I don't know if you guys come to the training event in, I think it was Birmingham, when there was that Jeddah guy that come, and he was talking about he took a trade during COVID, and he noticed that there was like price on, I think it was on GU or EU or something, had absolutely plummeted through COVID. And he had noticed that there was a order block from like 1981 or the early 1980s that hadn't been hit. And he put a buy limit down there, and it fucking nipped into his buy limit, and he rode that for several weeks, and he made an absolute fortune. Just simply because it had been outstanding for that
Yeah.
long.
I
And
remember hearing that before. He done well out of it.
yeah, he done very well. Like even on the EJ, for instance, right? So like the last couple of weeks, I've been taking advantage of Euro JPY, just because it's simply because, not that I prefer trading it or anything like that, but just the position it's in. If I
It's
take
going
this,
up, isn't it?
yeah, it's fucking massively bullish.
Yeah.
I was just taking advantage of how strong it was going upwards. But then also, we're now hitting highs from like, that's 2008. We've just taken that. So we had a retracement after it nipped liquidity. But then you go back even more, and it's just like you've got other targets here now. So you've got this target here, and then there's higher targets now that we can aim for. So yeah, you might get a bit of a retracement now. It's kind of nip liquidity here. It might, whether it breaks structure or not on the weekly, who knows. But when this was kind of like the other week, and it was pushing up to this high, it was really pushing. I was like, oh, I'm fucking taking advantage of that. And this is a scenario when you look at the bigger picture and what's going on in the world, and like how the market is, and where price is in kind of certain pairs. There's a lot more confluences for you to then go, oh, okay, actually, I'm gonna trade this pair mainly this week over another pair. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, cheers, Callum. Oh, sorry, mate, I just read that. So yeah, it's just one of those, and then you've just got to, sorry, I'm just reading the watch them. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those, but then also following what Cam does with the news stuff is really important as well. Like obviously the news comes into it a fair bit. But for what you guys were saying, like with the 200 and stuff like that, like the 200 EMA, if I add it on here, I've got it on here. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'll put it on here. Like the 200 EMA, I really like. If you can see really nice like rejections, especially on the on
Is that all you use, or it's just the 200s?
yeah, I don't use like the 62 or the 930.
930, no.
No, I used to years ago when I was doing pitchforks, because it's very relevant to that strategy. And they are very good. If you get a crossover of the 62 and the 930 on like a low time frame, then and it stays under that, it will generally a lot of the time retrace up to that 62 as it's going down. So it's very powerful. Like this is you got to bear in mind when Connor was very early in growing his account, the quarter theory was like the main thing he was using, and he made an absolute killing off of it just simply because he got very good. And this is probably the reason also Justin does good with the quarters and does this, because he's been doing this kind of style of trading for so long. He's just comfortable, one, not being greedy with stuff, but also he understands it. He understands how it works.
That
So
moves, yeah.
he does, yeah, he understands. And if you like it with BNB, for instance, like I don't know if you guys are aware, but Justin, he probably doesn't really talk about it, but Justin, last year he was trading futures a lot, and he fucking smashed it.
Smashed it, he was sellers, and pumped it into Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's it. He bought a whole Bitcoin, or he bought
Yeah.
two Bitcoin or
He
something.
was
Yeah.
talking about that earlier in the week.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
1.7
literally-
something in Bitcoin he's got.
Yeah, that's it. So he was trading BNB. And because BNB, you can look at this the same with Bitcoin, it's the same with Ethereum. Like they've all got order blocks. They all feel like imbalance and stuff like that. Crypto is a bit more volatile because it can be manipulated easier by whales, but ultimately, if especially on the larger tokens, like I wouldn't trade shit coins, but like on the ones that have been around like BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin, like you can trade them. And and that they respect fairly well. You just need to be aware of what's going on in the world and kind of any kind of big news and stuff. But he done futures, which I've never done futures. I know it's a little bit different. The risk is different in futures, and obviously you do it off an exchange. But he pretty much put like $450 into an account, and within like 2 months he'd made like 40 grand, and that wasn't being greedy either. And it was kind of, the risk was obviously more. I think he was risking like 3% or something like that. I'm not sure how futures works, but he was risking a slightly larger percentage than what you would do with currency. But ultimately it was the returns were really good. And then what he done then was invested it into Bitcoin. Yeah. So yeah, fair play to him. Like, and this is the thing, if you look at a chart long enough and you understand movements and kind of even though it does change slightly throughout the year, like seasons, you will recognize it and yeah, just adapt with it. It's just, quarters to me is just like, I don't think enough people use quarters or they're aware of quarters. Like for price to move down and hit these points like spot on and just reverse, it's just kind of like, it's just the banks, it's just banks and numbers. That's it. It's like, and the analogy that I like is pretty much if I said to you guys, oh, let's meet at the pub, like we'd meet at the pub at like 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock. It wouldn't be like 8:37 or I don't know, 7:12.
Yeah, all kind of even times and numbers.
Yeah, it's all very even, and this is the thing. This is why I know he only uses the majors, but I do find you get obviously the rejections off of the 25s and 75s as well. So yeah, it's one of those, but each their own. Like it's how you perceive the market and how you want to manage your trade. So yeah, it's one of those. Cool. I'm just looking at time. He does, what does he do? He does 45 minutes, doesn't he? Cool. Is there anything you guys want to quickly go over before I call it a night? We've kind of done a bit of a random one tonight. Sorry about that. We've got an FP tomorrow, so I don't really. I'm not going to be trading tomorrow. So I'll be back at it next week. But yeah,
Just gonna ask that. You want in the morning or?
yeah, I'll be on in the morning, mate. Yeah, I know Ali and all that will trade. They'll trade till probably the run up to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go over. We'll mark some bits up like we did. I did mark up some bits with him the other day that he was absolutely gutted about. Like we were on the live the other morning, and he missed this. We're waiting for Price to come into this area here, and literally on my live in the morning at 7 o'clock, Price was here, and he's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to tap into this area, and then I'm going to get in it," and it just fucking went without him, and then. Yeah, it just kind of just went, and the stop loss would have been really tight as well. But it's one of those, yeah, it's better to be out of a what is it? Better to be out of a bad trade than be in a good one. So yeah, cool. Any of you guys coming to install a show?
No, I won't be, mate.
No, that's cool. It comes up to the top of my phone. You back? Oh yeah, I'm back on in the morning, mate. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay. No, that's it, guys. Yeah, if you've got any questions, obviously my inbox is always open. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch some of you guys on in the morning and we'll go over some charts.
Nice one, Sean.
Cool. Have a good
Cheers,
evening.
mate.
Right, see you later.
See you later.
Bye bye.